Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com. Today we're going to make hash brown breakfast cups, and this is what it looks like. So what we have is a shell made of hash browns, and then inside we have some ham, we have some sauteed vegetables, cheese, and then we crack an egg on the top. Just too cute. A meal, whole meal, all in one. So the first thing you would need to do is to preheat your oven to 475 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 245 degrees Celsius. And we're going to use a 6-cup jumbo muffin pan. And these are about 1 cup, 240 milliliters. That's how much a jumbo muffin cup holds. You could use just a ramekin if you don't have this type of pan. And what we want to do is we want to butter the inside of our pan. Now, I'll just say, if you're going to buy a jumbo, if you don't have one, you want to buy one, try to buy the non-stick. Makes life so much easier. But what we're going to do anyways is we're going to butter the inside very well of all our cups. I just have some melted butter here, and I'm using a pastry brush. And the butter, of course, it helps us to release our hash brown cups from the pan. But the other thing, it just also adds some flavor, and it helps the hash browns get nice and brown and crispy, which I just love. So now what you will need the first thing I have in a large bowl here is you will need 1 pound, which is 450 grams of frozen shredded hash brown potatoes. I find, why not use one of these convenience type foods that taste just as good as grating your own potatoes, but a lot less work. So that's what I'm using here. And like I said, you want to thaw them out, obviously. And then what we're going to do, I have in a separate bowl here 2 large egg whites, that's 60 grams, and then I'm just going to use a whisk to break them up a little. That looks good. And then what you want to do is, I like to season my hash browns with some salt and pepper. I mean, really it's to taste, so I'm adding just, about 1/2 teaspoon, 2 grams of salt. You could add more, you could add less. And the same 1/2 teaspoon, 2 grams of pepper. If you wanted to add some spices in there, feel free. And then I'm going to add, for flavor, 2 tablespoons, 25 grams of melted butter. Get all that out. And then I'm going to put my beaten egg white, and then I'm just going to mix it all together. Pretty easy. Okay. Then we're just going to divide this mixture between our 6 cups. So that would, you can just eyeball it. I find that ends up to be about 1/2 cup, 120 milliliters for each muffin cup. So if you want, you can use a 1/2 cup measuring. Really, just kind of eyeball it here. And then we're just going to press our hash browns on the bottom and up the sides of our muffin cups. You want to firmly press it down. A little noisy there. Okay, so I just kind of eyeball it here. So that's what, about half full, each of them. That's how you can kind of, okay. So then you could use a spoon to do this. I'm actually just going to use my fingertips and, try to get it even, just like this. Not too difficult. Okay, So almost done here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bake these about 15 minutes. Of course, everyone's oven is a little different, may take a little longer, a little less. What you want is them to, they're like really wet now, you want them to dry out, and they will get some color, and especially around the edges will probably turn golden brown, but the rest will be like just a light brown. So that's how you know they are done. So about 15 minutes. So now, while our hash brown cups are baking, what I'm going to do is saute our vegetables and our ham, get that all ready. So I have a skillet. You can either put, about a tablespoon, about 12 grams of butter, or I'm just going to use a little bit of olive oil here, either way. And I'm just going to let that heat up a little. So what we're going to do, now really this is kind of a template. You can kind of vary it to whatever you like or whatever you have in the house. I'm using a half a cup, 120 milliliters of finely chopped red onion. Of course you could use yellow, you could use green onions, chives, shallots. So, or just leave it out even. And then I like to add a little bit, quarter of a cup, 60 milliliters of finely chopped, I'm using a red bell pepper. You could use, the other colors. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of 240 milliliters. I'm using some diced, like a ham steak. Again, you could use bacon, turkey bacon. You could use sausage. If you're a vegetarian, of course, you don't want to do that. You could just add some more vegetables. And I'm also going to I like to add some spinach, give some color. So I've got a couple cups of spinach. I'm using the fresh spinach. Of course, you could use the frozen and then just thaw it out. So I'm just going to put all that. And then the salt and pepper. I'm a pepper fan, so pepper and some salt. I'm not going to put too much salt because that ham is quite salty. And I'm just going to saute that. Really, you just want to get the onion softened, the red pepper softened, just a little. And then I'm going to add my spinach. Really, and if you didn't even want to add any of this, you don't even have to. You could just, do it with mainly an egg breakfast cup. I just love the versatility of this recipe. And it's great for breakfast, great for brunch. I often make it for lunch with, a green salad. And I like to also serve it with toast to dip in my egg. So that's, looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do is my spinach leaves are a little large here, so I'm just going to rip it up. As you know, once you cook spinach, it really shrinks down. So, while I'm giving you a recipe here, this really, you can vary this. You could use some zucchini would be nice. Mushrooms would be very nice in here. Some tomato, maybe. I'm going to put lots. Okay. What I'm going to do is just, I still have a bit of time here. So I'm just going to keep sauteing this until my spinach wilts. And then what you will also need, because we have 6 muffin cups, you will need 6 eggs. And I'm also going to put some cheese. Once I put the vegetables and the ham in, I'm going to actually put a little bit of grated cheese. I'm using a cheddar. You will need about 1.5 cups which is about, what, 360 milliliters of, you know, pretty finely grated cheese. Like I said, cheddar, Colby, Monterey Jack. You could use, if you want a little spice, you could use that Mexican blend. Or, you know, you could even use a goat cheese. I mean, again, just whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. And then I'm just going to let this sit, and we're all ready. So we'll be back when our muffin cups are ready. Okay, so our hash brown cups are baked. You see they're nice and dry, lightly tinged around the outside, a little darker. That's the way you want them. So now what we're going to do is take some of our mixture, you know, a tablespoon or maybe a little more in each one. And then you want to press it down, compact it once you get as much or as little as you want in here. Of course, if you don't want to make 6, you could half the recipe, or if you need 12, you could double the recipe, you know. And then, see, just press it down, because we need some room for our eggs on top. And we're going to put some cheese on there. Now leave your oven turned on, because we are going to use it a few more times here. You could use a back of a spoon if you want to compress it. Okay, I'm going to go with that. So now what I'm going to do is sprinkle a little cheese, just a nice layer cheese on top. See, I still have enough room there for my egg, very important. And of course, if you didn't want cheese, you don't have to. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just pop this back into the oven just until the cheese starts to melt. So I would say, you know, 2, at the most, maybe 3 minutes. And use your oven mitts. Remember, your pan is very hot. Okay. Okay, there we go. So our cheese is starting to melt. So now what we're going to do is crack an egg and put it on top each one. And then if you want, you can put a little salt and pepper. And then we're going to put them back into the oven. Now, this is the part, baking time. Like, how do you like your eggs? Do you like the yolk runny, or do you like it firm? So I find at least 8 minutes to get that white set, and then beyond that, I'm going to leave that up to you. I find for us, we like it a little runny, but not too runny. So I find around 10 minutes. So somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes. Oh, I'm going to put, like, my little pepper on the top. Almost forgot. And then if you want a little salt. There we go. Okay, we're ready. Okay, here we are. So our hash brown breakfast cups are ready. Mine are pretty firm. They're pretty set, but still just a little runny. So what I'm going to do, I've just put my pan on a wire rack. They're a little hot, so I'm going to let them cool a few minutes, and when we come back, we will try one. Okay, so to take your hash brown cups out of your pan, just take like an offset spatula, or you could take a knife and then just go around, just in case you don't want to release it if it's sticking a little, and then just kind of lift it out like so. So, aren't they gorgeous? Great brunch dish. You could make it ahead, because it can be serve them hot, or warm, or even just room temperature. So now, let's take one, and then, I really like to serve this with toast, because I like to dip my egg yolk, my toast in the egg yolk, but today we won't do that. So here we go. So my egg is still a little runny. That's how I like it. And of course you can see, the beautiful golden brown, crispy hash browns, and then you've got all your ham, your vegetables, your cheese, and egg. What more could we ask for in the morning? What a great way to start the day. Your family will thank you for this. So, get a little of everything here. Baxter's waiting right behind me for his share. Oh, that is so nice. You get the hash brown potatoes, nice and crispy. You got the vegetables, the ham, the cheese, the egg. Oh, what a great breakfast, brunch, lunch meal. And if you have some left over, you could cover them, put them in the refrigerator, and just reheat either in the microwave or in the oven the next day. So try these. And until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com.